Good morning and welcome to Cullman Today. I'm your host, Katie Spicer. It's Monday, January 22nd, 2024, and here's to hoping for a weather eventless week. There's lots going on in local news as both the city and county schools return to school following a week at home after an Arctic blast of sleet. The Cullman County basketball tournament starting up today after being postponed temporarily due to the weather, and a look at some stellar scholars. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the top stories. After a week of unexpected closures and unbelievably cold temperatures, students in Cullman are back in class today, Monday, January 22nd, stressing the importance of attendance in the coming months as classes begin to prepare for exams and state tests. Cullman City School Superintendent Kyle Koloff said, "We're excited to get our approximate 3,200 students and nearly 400 employees back to school and work tomorrow. Due to the missed week of instruction, it is imperative that our families make school attendance a priority for the next 3 to 4 months. I hope everyone is relaxed and ready to get back into a routine of teaching and learning." The Martin Luther King Jr. holiday saw the schools closed on Monday of last week, while the polar blast was responsible for the remainder of the unexpected sleet week. Cullman County School Superintendent Dr. Shane Barnett says he's excited to see his students return to the halls of their alma maters, saying, "We're excited to get back to our regular schedule and see all of our students. It's going to be a busy week, but also a great week." Cullman residents braved the frigid depths of wild water on Saturday, January 20th to join in on the 2024 Polar Bear Plunge to benefit Special Olympics.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
140 jumpers were registered to endure the 14-degree weather, with 2 lucky residents bringing home prizes. The morning began with ice-themed pump-up music and photo ops with the polar bear mascot, followed by a brief safety meeting before jumpers lined the perimeter of Wildwater's outdoor pool. Counting down from 10 and holding their breath, jumpers made the frosty plunge. Some got out as quickly as they got in, while others enjoyed the full 2-minute allotment to be in the pool. Wildwater manager Michael Schwedick said the turnout was record-breaking, 140 jumpers impressive for a plunge, but especially despite the ice storms that hit Cullman community earlier in the week. "We were thrilled with the turnout for this year's Polar Bear Plunge event. We saw a record number of participants despite the extremely low temperatures," he explained. "It was so much fun to be part of such a brave and exciting group of people that came together to support a great cause." David Samuels and Amy McCarley came out as the victors of the morning, winning a family membership to Wildwater and a year membership to Cullman Wellness and Aquatic Center. Schwedick says the event was a huge success for our community, with many jumpers planning on making the plunge again next year. The students in Good Hope High School's Scholars Bowl team have reached academic stardom. The team beat out others in their division and earned a place at the national competition level. In a competition of wits and smarts, the students of Good Hope High School Scholars Bowl team have prepped and practiced for months, besting other teams at each qualifying tournament. In late April, the Scholars Bowl will travel to Chicago to compete against schools from all over the nation in the national championship tournament, where they will hopefully clinch the Raiders the title of winner. Now that we have the top stories out of the way, we're going to take a quick break before returning with sports. Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to find out what's going on in the world of sports with stories from Cullman Tribune sports editor Nick Griffin. Let's have a look at some of this weekend's college hoops action. The 13th ranked Auburn Tigers were back on the court at Neville Arena to host number 22 Ole Miss Saturday night, with the Tigers extend their winning streak to 11 games. Auburn head coach Bruce Pearl said that after the game he was impressed with the way his team controlled the game, especially on the defensive end. The Tigers shot nearly 60% from the field in the win and were led by Jalen Williams and Johnny Broome, who each posted 13 points. Auburn will be looking for its 12th consecutive win Wednesday night when it travels to Cullman Coliseum for a battle against Alabama. The Crimson Tide traveled to Knoxville for an SEC matchup against 6th-ranked Tennessee Saturday, and their 6-game winning streak came to an end with a 91-71 loss to the Volunteers. Alabama head coach Nate Oates said after the game that Saturday's loss was as dominant of a performance that someone has put on us in a long time around here. Mark Sears led the way for the Crimson Tide with 22 points in the loss. The Crimson Tide will return home to Cullman Coliseum Wednesday night to face 13th-ranked Auburn. The UAB Blazers were back home in Bartow Arena Saturday afternoon to take on East Carolina, and thanks to big games from Eric Gaines and Javian Davis, the Blazers were able to edge out the Pirates 69-61. Gaines posted 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Blazers, and Davis added 14 points and 9 rebounds in the win. With Saturday's win, UAB snaps a 3-game losing streak to East Carolina and improves 12-6 on the season. The Blazers will be on the road Tuesday for another conference matchup against Charlotte. That covers sports for today, but make sure to check with the Cullman Tribune each day for the latest in sports coverage from across the area. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Cullman Today. Now it's time to speed things up with our news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Unsheltered International is one step closer to opening its tiny home housing project, The Village. The 17-acre plot of land has been developed since 2020 into the trappings of a tiny home village to be used as a long-term program to help people transition from homelessness to productive citizenship. The program will focus on Christian discipleship, personal responsibility, and education. Each resident will live in a tiny home as they work to provide for themselves and go through the program. Per Unsheltered International's latest update, all of the grading on the middle of the road has been completed, meaning that the road, parking areas, and first 5 house pads are complete. Gravel for these areas will come later after sewer lines and water lines have been installed. Installation is ahead for 2 septic systems, the office, and the electrical infrastructure before the village officially opens, but Unsheltered says there's nothing stopping them now from working on the houses. The inside construction of the prefabricated tiny homes will include building the bathroom and kitchen, ceiling, flooring, shiplap on the walls, all electrical and plumbing, and more. From a ministry update given by Unsheltered International, they shared, "We've worked extremely hard to get to this point, and we are praising God for where we are." On the heels of a frigid ice storm that postponed nearly everything in Cullman last week, including school and regularly scheduled board meetings, Cullman County Board of Education and Cullman City Board of Education have rescheduled their meetings to be held on Tuesday, January 23, 2024. Cullman County Board of Education has rescheduled its meeting to 2 p.m. at the Cullman County Board of Education Central Office. According to CCBOE Media and Communications Specialist Ty Watwood, the meeting will also be streamed at ccboe.tv for those unable to attend. Cullman City Board of Education rescheduled its meeting to 5 p.m. at the Cullman City Board of Education boardroom. Agenda items include approve financials, consider personnel items, and other action items. On Tuesday, January 23rd, Cullman City Primary School will host their annual Parent Night for all families with students enrolled at CCPS or Cullman City Pre-K. The night will focus on strategies parents and caregivers can take home and implement to support their students' proficiency in math and reading. All attendees will be entered into a drawing that gives them the Holy Grail, a pass to skip the car line for an entire month. The Parent Night will be held at the CCPS gym at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January 23rd. Youth baseball season is running toward us quickly, and the Cullman City Parks and Recreation and Cullman County Youth Baseball signups have begun. Cullman City Parks and Recreation, along with Youth baseball leagues from Hanceville, Holly Pond, Good Hope, and Vinemont T-ball, baseball, and softball have begun their sign-ups for the 2024 season. Forms are available to be completed at each town hall or Parks and Rec office. A registration fee and birth certificate are required for each player. Now for a quick break before we look at weather ahead and pay our respect with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Welcome back. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have passed away this week as we turn to obituaries. William Bill Lay. William Bill Lay, 82, of Cullman, Alabama, passed away on Tuesday, January 16, 2024. A celebration of life funeral service was held Sunday, January 21, 2024, at Center Grove Baptist Church with interment services in Center Grove Cemetery. Moss Service Funeral Home directing. Eloise Thomas. Funeral service for Eloise Thomas, age 88, of Cullman, is Monday, January 22, 2024 at 2 p.m. at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel. Family will welcome friends from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. Interment will be held at Simcoe Methodist Cemetery. Cullman Funeral Home is honored to serve the family. Mary Louise Smith. Funeral services for Mary Louise Smith, 88, of Hanceville, will be at 12 p.m. Wednesday, January 24, 2024, at Center Hill Baptist Church. Burial will follow the service at Center Hill Cemetery. Visitation will be prior to the service from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m. at Center Hill Baptist Church. Jacob Daniel Thomas. Jacob Daniel Thomas, known to most as Jake, passed away on January 17, 2024, at the age of 42. Funeral services for Jake will be Tuesday, January 23, 2024 at 12 noon in the Holly Pond Funeral Home Chapel. Friends are invited to join the family for a time of visitation 2 hours prior to the service from 10 a.m. until services begin. Mr. Thomas will be buried in Simcoe Methodist Cemetery following services. Holly Pond Funeral Home is honored to serve the Thomas family. That finishes up obituaries today. Our hearts and prayers go out to their friends and family. Now, today, let's check the weather forecast. Today's forecast is showing a high of 46 and a nighttime low of 37 degrees, which is a major shift from last week. During the day, you can expect partly cloudy skies with highs possibly peaking in the low 50s. The nighttime dips down and is going to be a bit warmer than the last few nights and mostly cloudy. Lows could dip down to 37 with southeast winds between 10 and 15 miles per hour, shifting to a northwest wind with a 20% chance of rain. Stay safe and enjoy the start to the week. That concludes this morning's broadcast. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. Remember to have a great day and be safe. Until next time, I'm Katie Spicer for Cullman Today.